I think because for me, it's like I can't make up a scenario.
Yeah.
I don't relate to a scenario, and I think one of the things I've learned in music is people connect to vulnerability.
Yes.
I think vulnerability is the most powerful thing we can do as a human. And I think to be vulnerable is scary, but it helps you connect to people. And realistically, we're on this earth to connect.
This is On Track. I am Jon ALi, and today we are talking with the wonderfully handsome, great to look at, talented singer-songwriter, mental health awareness mastero, Leon Els.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I've got a bit of a stomachache this morning. I had this MCT oil, and I normally have it, but I had this bulletproof one. So it's kind of like, upset my stomach a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I'm good.
Aside from the stomach issues,
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Apart from that, I'm good. Yes.
How's everything been going? How's the LA treating you right now?
LA's good. I love being here. I feel like I found myself here, so it kind of feels like home, like real home.
Yeah.
Like England never felt like truly home to me because obviously I was in the closet and I kind of lived an isolated kind of life. So yeah, I love LA. I feel like LA.
How long have you been here now?
4.5 years.
4 years.
I get it wrong every time. It's
Yeah.
around that kind of thing. Yeah, it's about 4.5 years, 5 years. Yeah.
I mean, it flies by. I'm sure you.
Oh my god,
feels
it flies by. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary. You feel like, oh my god, like another year's gone. You just feel like, fuck, where's the time going? Like, shit, man. So, yeah.
But LA is mostly like work for you, right? Or do you have lots of friends here?
Oh, since I came out, my social life is amazing. I couldn't ask for a better group of friends. I actually feel like I'm one of the lucky ones because I feel like a lot of people I speak to in LA feel quite lonely, feel like they haven't connected with people, feel like you don't have that group of friends. And I'm like, shit, I have that. Like, I'm lucky.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's important. If you find like a family for yourself, and where you're living, especially since you're not from here, it's not always easy to do. So that's nice. But I mean, in London, like you've talked about this plenty of times. When you grew up in London, you weren't necessarily living a happy life. You weren't in the greatest of situations, but you navigated through it with just expressing yourself through dance. Yeah. And were you songwriting then as well?
Yeah, I've been songwriting since I was like 12 years old. Okay. Like shitty little songs.
Yeah.
Like, no music, just singing into a tape recorder or something and trying to record myself.
Do you remember anything from those days? Like any like specific melody or like lyrics?
Yeah, I remember the first song I ever wrote called My Daydreaming Girl. And don't ask me to sing it because I am not singing it.
My Daydreaming Girl.
Clearly in denial, but yeah, that's what I did. I started writing around that.
Amazing. But I mean, did you find out for yourself? Did anyone in your life encourage for you to explore dance, for you to explore the creative side of yourself?
Family-wise, no.
Yeah.
It was my drive and my need kind of thing. I also feel like I think something I understand now, through going a lot of personal growth, I feel like I liked the attention because I never got attention. Okay. So if I could be the best at something, people love you. They want to shower you in compliments. They want to hang around with you. So you feel that sense of someone likes me, someone wants me, because I didn't really get that. But no one encouraged me in my family. But I feel like when I got to dance school, when I got to drama, when I got into music class, the teachers, I don't know, they
understood you.
They understood me and they spurred me on.
That's good.
Yeah.
I actually find that common. I feel with a lot of queer people, their home isn't necessarily the space where they can explore that. So it's like you're kind of shielding yourself from letting you be your true self around your family. So you find that outside of home and at school. If you find a teacher that sees what you're doing, likes and understands you, that feels like that's a common thread.
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the luckier ones.
Yeah.
Again, I went through a really traumatic childhood. But still, I was lucky to have that respite, I guess, at school. Yeah. Even though I was really badly behaved at school, I found solace in the arts, and because the teachers saw potential, I don't know what, it was a place that I was encouraged. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't, because sometimes when you have traumatic childhoods, a lot of people just go into themselves, or they don't find arts. Maybe they're not into arts, I don't know. And I think in the school system, you're taught that all you need is science, math, English, when actually your talent could be. It's such an old system.
No, yeah,
the system
it's very traditional.
Very traditional, and I think we're getting to a point now where you don't need to be. You don't need to know what fucking Pythagoras theorem is. I mean, I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, this ain't gonna fucking
I don't know what that means.
It's bullshit. I've never used it, and it's like they need to start pushing children to find what they love to do.
Yes,
and then you can find a career in that because you can be successful in everything.
Yeah, you can, and that it's really just embracing that. I think that's what a lot of people don't get to have early on, is realizing that this is something you're allowed to focus on, and you should just keep working on that.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like, when I have children, that'd be what I focus on, is like, find what you love.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Try everything out, and when you find it, you go for it.
Yeah. So then when did you truly start indulging in, like, I want to pursue music? Like, was there like a moment that clicked for you? Yeah,
because there wasn't really any way to. There was no school that you could go to that was like, I'll teach you how to become a pop star.
Yes.
So my options dance school. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like Billy Elliot. I was like this big tall guy. It's such a good movie. I was like this big tall guy having to learn ballet with this little girl because I had to play catch up. Mm-hmm. And I caught up quick. My dance teacher made me go to audition for all these schools in London, and I was thinking I wouldn't even get into one. But then I managed to get in every single one, scholarships to every single one. I was like dumbfounded.
Yeah.
And I was out of that home quicker than you could say, get out. Like, I was done.
You're like, see, my bags are already packed.
At 15, I was out there, and I didn't look back at all. And so I finished dance. I got expelled from my first dance school.
Oh, wow.
Because again, I had an attitude problem. I was one of them kids who'd be like, don't fucking talk to me. Teacher says something, I answer back. I always had to have the last word, But then I left school and I had a good dance career. I was in the West End. I was in Nine the Movie. And it's when I was in Nine the Movie that I kind of just realised, because it's such a small cast. And we got to work so closely with like Nicole Kidman, Kate Hudson.
Was it Fergie in that one?
Fergie was in that one, yeah.
You saw her perform, be Italian, you were like, yeah, I want to do that.
It's actually, we were with Kate Hudson in
she's amazing
Italiano, yeah. And she would play the piano after rehearsal. I didn't realise how musical she was. And I don't think maybe many people do realise how musical she was.
She's definitely underappreciated in that section of her talent.
And I said to her, and we were talking about me, and I said, I write music. And she was like, you should pursue it. And I was like, yeah, I should. And I thought, fuck this. Nothing wrong with being the person behind, but dancers work so fucking hard, and they're probably the most underpaid, underrated people on set, or something like that. And I was like, "Fuck this! Like, I can do what they're doing. I could do that." And so I literally quit, and I spoke to Rob Marshall, the director.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to come back one day and you're going to employ me. You're going to take me on as one of the leads.
Okay.
And I quit. I told everyone, my agent and everything, I quit, and I literally just
Wow. I mean, that seems like as you keep talking about the way you kind of navigated life, you were very much you're ready to drop something and just go for what you want.
I'm all or nothing person in every aspect of my life. Like, if I'm going out on the weekend, I'm going out on the weekend. It's like anything anyone that knows me is like, I'm literally 2 gears, nothing, or full the fuck out.
Full throttle.
Yeah,
literally. Full throttle.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so that is me. So when I decide something, I'm like, I'm going to go for it, and I will drop everything else to go for it.
That's amazing, though. That, like you said, I think you're lucky in that sense. A lot of people would second guess themselves, and wouldn't want to just click into we're gonna do this now. So, but you did it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were lots of times I second guess myself, and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, I've gone so far down. Oh my god, I think that's natural. But I think the message that I would say to anyone is that's normal. If you don't have them little doubts sometimes, because that keeps you real, and I think sometimes that keeps the fear behind you that helps drive you.
Yeah.
As long as that fear is not in front of you, directing you, fear of failure, fear of, being worried about what you're doing. I think that's a healthy thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, but when you started getting into the music, I mean, you made that decision. How did you did you know where to start? Like,
I just started writing. I would download instrumentals, reggae instrumentals.
Okay.
That's how I first started to write reggae properly. Because where I come from, reggae was a thing. And I grew up listening to Bob Marley as well.
Okay.
So I'd download all these instrumentals and I would just start writing songs to them on my MacBook Pro in GarageBand, record my vocals over top of my headphones in, and I'd upload them to MySpace.
Okay.
And then, I got picked up by someone at Warner. They wanted to help me out. They all want to help you out. All these fucking A&Rs want to keep their fingers in the pie, but none of them want to commit to you until something happens. Then they all want to be like, oh yeah, I helped that person. I always saw that in them. And that's kind of what happened to me. All these people started going, yeah, we don't want to sign you. We don't want to commit to you, but we're going to kind of help you a little bit. So that's kind of how it started.
Was there a moment where you were like, okay, this seems like it's actually working?
For some reason, I had blind faith from the beginning.
Yeah.
I really felt I could do it. I don't know why. I just thought I can do this.
Yeah.
And I guess when they tried to sign me to Rocket, which is Elton John's, and Elton John called me, I was sat at home watching Jerry McCall, which is kind of like the Jerry Springer show.
Okay.
And my phone goes off, and I'm like, hi, who's this? And he's like, it's Elton.
My God.
Like, Elton who? And he's like, Elton John. And I was like, no, fucking ain't. I said, it ain't Elton John. And he was like, it fucking is. And then it just dropped, because he's got such a distinctive voice.
Totally, yeah.
I was like, fuck, it's Elton John calling me. So that was a moment I thought, okay, I think I can get.
Yeah, I mean, if Elton John's giving you a stamp of approval, I think you're pretty good to go.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it. So that was a quite definitive moment for me.
And I mean, I feel like you're consistent with your music and the way what you talk about. I mean, a lot of the time it's very, if you wanted to just listen to it off like a first listen basis, it's very upbeat. You want to dance to it. It has like a nice vibe, but on the undertone of it, you really are leaving yourself bare in your emotions. Really opening up in a lot of ways. Is that always something you were like, this is how I'm going to do it?
I think because for me, it's like I can't make up a scenario.
Yeah.
I don't relate to a scenario. And I think one of the things I've learned in music is people connect to vulnerability.
Yes.
I think vulnerability is the most powerful thing we can do as a human. And I think to be vulnerable is scary, but it helps you connect to people. And realistically, we're on this earth to connect.
Yes.
And as humans, if we're not connecting, how can you be happy? You can't.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I just want to put my real life experience, and I've gone through a hell of a lot.
Yes.
Like a hell of a lot. So I have a lot to write about. And just the way I write songs, I just write from my point of view, the stories that have happened to me, how I've overcome them, how I'm feeling. And I kind of just don't give a fuck if it comes across as a bit dark or whatever. Because I'm like, I'd rather have some substance than go, right, let's pick a title. Sunshine. Let's write about sunshine. That just doesn't appeal to me, and there's nothing wrong with that if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But I need something with a bit more depth to it, and that's why I like to write from that point of view.
But I think that, no, you're right. People do want to hear the actual artist and their perspective. And I think nowadays, more so than I think ever, like people want those connections. They're craving those connections. They want to feel like the actual person. It's not so like you could like present a certain thing to the world, but at the end of the day, we don't know who that person is.
And yeah, absolutely.
Not everything's going to be beautiful, wonderful daisies all the time.
No, and I feel like we live this Instagram filtered life.
Yes.
We're a depressed society that's posting happy pictures.
Yeah.
Putting call it like a shop window.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And everyone's guilty of it.
Absolutely, including myself, and we are scared to be vulnerable. And we ultimately want to feel like we're not alone. And I feel like it takes certain people, maybe that have got a platform or that have people watching, listening to them. I do feel like it's our duty and their duty to spread that message of you're not alone. Spread that message of what you've gone through and how things have helped you. Because, even in just men alone, the whole thing of, be a man.
Yes.
Like the highest rate of suicide is men. Mm-hmm. They are most at risk with suicide.
Yeah, we're taught from an early age, like, be strong, don't do this, don't do
cry.
That. Yeah, don't.
You're the man, bring the food on the table, and I mean, things are changing. Mm-hmm. I feel like with the younger generation.
Oh, for sure.
But I still feel like the younger generation are most at risk because this social media, this toxic social media that we are on. You have people posting, and I'm guilty of it, thotty pictures. Which
I call you out on all the time. I'm like, I very much appreciate this, but also, bitch!
Yeah. But it's true, if I'm honest, because we crave attention.
Yeah.
We're a society that craves attention. Uh-huh. And if we don't, it's like these likes, it's like they release endorphins in us. It's like we are a society that is addicted to likes.
Yes.
And we're so busy validating everyone else with these double taps, we forget to double tap ourselves and validate ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel like is why it's important to talk about the issues at hand.
Yeah, but then was there a conscious decision always to pick? Because I mean, you have released ballads and beautiful ballads, but you also a lot of them were like paired with very upbeat productions. Was that something you were like, I don't want this to be so?
No.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so easy to write a depressing song, whack it on a piano, whack it on a slow guitar, and let's all sit and cry. Yeah. Which is great. Which I love about my song "Beautiful World." The line being, "I know it's a beautiful world, I just can't see it right now." Mm-hmm. But then I think it's good to have something you can, I don't know, like still get behind.
Crying on the dance floor,
and still feel this, this, I don't know, I can't even explain it, this sort of escapism.
Yeah.
And I feel like I like to be creative in that sense and just try and have that light and shade.
It's therapeutic too.
Yeah.
You need to kind of like dance through the pain a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like not every sad story has to be a sad, sad musically. Yeah. And I think I like that. I like that a lot.
And you released, you had 5 singles come out last year.
Yes.
And were all those relatively made in 2019, or were they kind of like songs you were holding on to?
They were made in 2018.
Okay.
They were all from a certain period of time when I recently came out. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I had gone through a breakup, my first relationship, the person I came out for kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I went through this whole thing, this whole change in myself of musically of where I've always been. Mm-hmm. I just completely switched my whole style up. So that was a body of work that came from a certain period of time.
Yeah, and you like this, I want to put them out single by single. I liked that.
Yeah, I kind of feel in a way, I don't want to say it in a sense because I feel like everything's part of your journey, but I feel like I kind of lost myself in the sense of pain. Mm-hmm. And I kind of lost my sound a bit. I'm proud of the work that I've done last year, that I put out last year, but this year I'm going back to my progressive pop.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's where I, slash theatrical, slash 80s, that's kind of...
Oh, that's exciting.
That's kind of where I want to go back to, like what I Won't Do, the 13 Reasons Why soundtrack, Black Car, Dance, where it's just a bit more, again, it's got that darker edge on it. That's where I kind of am going back to, because I feel like last year I kind of lost my way and started trying to write to what I thought the industry wanted, rather than staying true to myself. That's a moment of doubt for me.
It's a weird balance, because you want it to reach as many people as you would like to, because that's obviously the point a lot of the time. But I don't think there's anything wrong in letting yourself play around and trying something new, because I think a lot of times artists can pigeonhole themselves, and sometimes you have to let yourself explore. Like, all right, so we did that, so maybe let's try and do this now.
And there's lots of artists that do that. I think Lady Gaga does that.
Yes.
I think she's always trying to push herself.
Yeah.
And give you something you don't expect. And I respect that so much. I respect that more than someone just brings out the same album.
Exactly.
The same songs. And great for them, good for them. But for me, I love artists that are trying to push, change, evolve, try something else out.
Yes.
Play dangerous.
Yes.
Not just play it safe all the time.
That's the whole point.
Because that's art to me.
Yeah.
That is art to me, and that is an artist for me. And there's a difference for me. That to me is someone who's an artist that grows with time, grows with life, grows with their experiences. If they're in this certain point in their life, that's going to reflect on their music.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened to me. The music I released last year was so different. I was even singing in a completely different place in my voice. You could almost think it was two different artists because that was where I was at that point in life. Yeah.
So then you sound like you're really excited about this next step then.
I'm super excited. We're getting to release some music that I've been so desperate to release.
Yeah.
And it goes back to progressive pop, which is where I want to be. I would rather succeed. I would rather fail trying to push the boundaries and trying to be different than succeed following someone else and following something that isn't myself.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's what people want.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a place of music right now where progressive pop is actually coming through, like, you know, artists like Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Realistically, a few years back, you would never think a song would be on the radio.
No, I know.
But now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's because people are starting to hear this music because the radio can't dictate anymore.
Oh no.
What we listen to. If anything, streaming is now dictating kind of what the radio.
Streaming has completely taken over.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like I kind of look at it like, you know, one of them big rivers with the crocodiles in the river, and you're the wildebeest. And this is the green grass is your audience. You've got to jump in that fucking water with like hundreds of fucking crocodiles wanting to eat you, and lots of people get eaten. And that music doesn't mean that music isn't great.
No, yeah.
There's so many songs out there that I've heard that I'm like, this is insane. They're just not getting the platform, and that's the problem at the moment. I feel for a lot of artists. Yeah. It's like, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of songs being uploaded to Spotify
all the time
and Apple Music.
It's endless. It's hard to keep up these days.
But I feel like my advice, and I have to keep reminding myself this, is that you just got to stay in the game. Just keep going, no matter how much. If a song doesn't, you know, it's not racking up millions, it doesn't mean your song ain't good.
Yes.
It just means you haven't had your moment yet. And like I said, I'm not sitting here preaching it to everyone else because I have to say it to myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not where I want to be, you know, and you just have to keep going. Even if you're fucking hanging on with that little finger, you're in the game. You just got to keep going. Because look at people like Lizzo.
It's so true. She is a prime example. She released those songs so long ago. 2 years later now, she's winning Grammys, performing everywhere. She's the biggest artist in the world.
And I think people need to, you know, I think it's great that people share those stories. I think every artist, you know, I have so much respect for any person that goes and tries and chases
and keeps going and doesn't stop.
I don't care about what people think about their talent or whether they think they're good or not good enough. I think we've seen time and time again, you don't have to be the best at what you do to succeed. I think persistence pays off, and believe in yourself. Yeah. And I think that I have so much respect for anyone that chases their dream.
Yeah. And you're doing it. You're out here, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not like the household name everywhere or anything like that, but you keep going, you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, you are letting yourself be seen in a lot of ways, more so than I could say about some artists out there. And it's great to see. And I think a lot of people look up to you in that sense, you know?
Yeah.
But
which is nice to know. It's always nice to know.
Yeah.
But like, I really want to not just like stepping aside from music. I really want to help people if I can. Yeah. That's something I always love doing with my friends or everyone. You know, I don't like the idea of people suffering because I know what it's like to suffer. I've been there. I've been in some really dark places and some really dark things have happened to me. And I'm a survivor from that. I'm not a victim. I've come through it. I want other people to know they're not alone. I want other people to know that situations can get better. I want other people to know there is help out there. And if I can do it, there's no reason why you can't.
Exactly.
You know, and that's important to me.
Yeah. No, I think it's a beautiful thing. Anytime I see you on your stories posting something uplifting or dark or something, I never see it as like a bad thing. I always see it like, that's nice to see that someone just letting themselves feel something and just like putting it out there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't do that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong, some people would think I'm fucking crazy. You know, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Because at the same time, it plays in my favour so much.
Yeah.
You know, I've got so many friends, and I think that's because I can be vulnerable and I'm myself around. I'm myself, the same person, no matter who I'm around. I will never change myself. Yeah. And if you don't like that, that's your problem. That's not my problem. As long as I always come from a place of love, good intention, you know, other people's opinions don't bother me.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
No.
They ain't paying your bills.
No bills.
But maybe they will when they start streaming your songs.
Yeah, maybe they are paying.
Maybe they actually are paying. But is there any song in particular that you're super excited to share with people?
Yeah, I don't know if I can say.
I think we should leave the song titles out so far.
It's okay, so no song title, but
there's just some things we haven't sort out at the moment.
Yeah,
that I can't really. I would love to just say to you, these are the things I want to. And I would love to, and I'll play you some after. But
there is a plan in the works.
There is a plan in the works.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I'm super excited just to fucking fly. I'm super excited to get it out and just to see what the world thinks.
Yeah.
Because I love it and it's different.
But are you already thinking about how you want to present it? Have you put any thought into that?
Yeah. I can give you that. I'm kind of like thinking 80s horror films.
Ooh.
That kind of vibe. Something just more creative, something more theatrical.
Yeah.
Just something more atmospheric that creates a world and there's an atmosphere around it. So you're not just buying into the music, you can buy into this kind of my life, my world, my viewpoints, my brain, my imagination, which I like that about artists. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what inspires me. That's why.
Well, that's another half of it. The music is always the foundation.
Yeah.
You want to also bring it to life in a way that you feel that it's appropriate to yourself.
I feel like as an artist, it's so much more than music.
Yeah.
People love. I don't know about you, but when I like something, I get obsessed, and then I'm on the internet, fucking Wikipedia, fucking Google, you name it. I want to find everything out about it. I need more.
Yeah.
And I feel like with music sometimes, I'm a fan of a lot of songs, but I'm not a fan. Maybe I don't want to say I'm not a fan of a lot of artists.
You don't necessarily invest.
I don't invest my time into a lot of artists because I feel like there's nothing more there. And that's fine because that's their choice to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I love it when an artist has a world. Like David Bowie, I love that. Prince had that. Mm-hmm. I think Gaga does that.
Totally.
And
sometimes we don't know what it is, but we're like, yeah, we're here for it.
And one of my favourite artists at the moment is 070 Shake.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of.
I feel like they just released an album, right?
Yeah.
The cover.
She's signed to Kanye.
The cover's like this
robot.
Yes. Okay.
She's so good, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's part of the LGBTQ community.
I have to do some more of that.
Yeah, she's really dope, and I love her because she's creating this. She has an air around her, this mystery that I feel like really suits her music. I feel like The Weeknd is like that.
Yes, he is.
Which I love. Like I said again, Gaga. I love that when there's more to find. I can dig a little deeper. I can get to think and just enjoy what someone's creating. So then when you go and see them live, you're getting this experience.
Yeah.
I'm not the same. But yeah, because it's so hard. Because sometimes my brain's a bit, my mouth runs quicker than my brain. And I don't want to. Sometimes I don't, I never intentionally want to offend anyone. So
I understand. But that's exciting. I like that you are gonna, in the works of planning on this whole visual accompaniment with the music. That's exciting.
Yeah,
because I feel like we need to see more of that from you too.
Yeah, and I want to incorporate dance a bit more as well.
Yeah, you are an amazing dancer.
Thank you.
Do that.
Yeah, so we're gonna figure some shit out.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see you live, but I've seen just through the videos and stuff. It looks so much fun. It looks like you're having so much fun.
Yeah.
So you need to be I want you to be touring. Hit it up in New York City, even though you don't love it so much, and you gotta come.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Performing is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
and that's again why I love the more theatrical music that I'm creating because it allows me to give a show.
Yeah,
because I come from theatre.
Yeah,
so I understand that aspect. When someone pays money to come and see you or invest their time, which is so precious, I want to take them away.
Yeah. From
their day to
that moment, it's just you're here with me, and we're gonna have a good time.
Let me take you away from you. Whatever your troubles are, whatever your stresses are, you step into this environment with me. My job is to take you away and to entertain you. Yeah. That's my job, and that's what I always want to do. And that's why I would love to give them. This is the thing with LA. They're like a fucking foghorn. It's just like whoa. My job is to take you away, and I want to do that. And, That's important.
And have some fun with outfits and dancers.
Yeah. I've done a performance recently, and I had.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Like we had amazing dancers, amazing creative. A bit of a.
Now, when it comes to the dancing, do you bring in a choreographer and have them curate it for you, or are you kind of like, I know how to do this? So.
No, the performance we done last time, I had a choreographer come in.
Okay.
Because it's choreography and being a dancer are two different things.
Yes.
Being a dancer, you're learning someone's choreography. You're told where to go, what to do. A choreographer, you're not just thinking about the dance moves. You're thinking about patterns,
everything,
size of the stage, the aesthetic. That's not right now something I have time to do in that sense, or want to do necessarily. I think there's more important things for me to be focusing on. I do have a say in the sense, do I like that?
Yeah.
No. Do I like that? Yes. I have a really big, and I have an understanding of that. But yes, so I am very on ball. I like to know what's going on, where's what.
You're involved.
I go down to rehearsals to make sure it's a certain kind of way. I'm not a hands-off person. I'm extremely hands-on in that sense. But it was given.
You are the master chef, and you have your sous chef. You have all these other people.
Cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, and they're so important. It's so important you get the right people. Yeah. Because it really makes or break thing. And again, I think they're unsung heroes. Dancers are unsung heroes.
Well, then 2020 already sounds super exciting. You got some new music in the works. There's a whole vision accompaniment coming along with it. Yeah. I feel like you sound and feel good and are happy
good,
in a good place.
Absolutely. And I don't want to sit here and be like, life's so fucking great, because there's a lot of stress going on. Yeah. There's a lot of, there's still sometimes self-doubt. Yeah. And the reason I want to say that is, again, because there's other artists out there that will look, and if I'm sat here pretending, life's fucking great, we've got it all planned out. We don't know where we're going in 2020. We don't know where I'm going to end up at the end of the year. We don't know if I'm going to make money. We don't know if the songs are going to connect. They're all worries we all have. And I think we have that at every level. Whether you're at my level where I'm at, whether you're at, say, fucking Adele's level, Taylor Swift's level, or you're getting ready to put out your first song, we're all in the same boat. We all are at that point. And again, so I am very excited. I'm very nervous. I am worried a little bit, because it's my dream, and I always want my dream to go well. Yeah. But I'm like, bring it on. Let's go. Let's
roll for it.
Yeah, fuck it. You've got nothing to lose, and if it all goes wrong, what's the worst that can happen?
Well,
I'm just homeless.
You won't be homeless, gypsy on LA streets. I think everything's going to be working out fine. You are. I think people just gravitate towards your energy. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I can speak for you. And I'm excited for everyone to hear everything you're working on. And I'm about to listen to some new music. So everybody else, you'll be hearing it soon. But I want to thank you so much for talking.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
This has been Leon Els. Bye. Adios.